Welcome back to another episode of Opinions in the Dark with your boy C. Um, I've been away for a while. I actually had took spring break off with the kids just so I could have my time to wind down and spend time with the kids. We did fun things. We had a good spring break overall. Honestly, wasn't too bad. Wasn't any problems. We actually had a great spring break. Let me take that back. We had a great spring break. We had a couple issues that we was dealing with that we did not know how to fix, and we was dealing with these issues for years with one of our kids, and we tried something new, and it actually worked. I'm talking about, like, not to give a whole backstory, but the child that we're talking about, like, you couldn't go a whole week without not telling her something that she knew she had to do, whether it was chores, whether it was helping out, whether it was doing schoolwork. And to know that me and my wife put our heads together and we found something that worked, that was amazing for us. Because I mean, for a good 2 years, we was having like issues, whether it was going to therapy with her or, excuse me, taking things away or whatever. But it finally worked. And I'm talking about consistently after, like, during spring break and even to now. So that was a good thing. And my son came up. We got to see him for spring break, the whole spring break. That was really, really good. So yeah, we had a good spring break, and I hope everybody else and their family and their kids got to enjoy the time off. Uh, this will be a little short one. Me and my wife, we actually came down with the flu, so I'm still. You might hear it in my voice a little bit and a little sniffles here and there, but we making it through. We having our vitamin C. We're making sure we're taking our vitamins, and I make sure hope everybody do the same. Please take vitamins if you don't take vitamins, and if you don't believe in vitamins, do what you think is right for your family. But we got to keep ourselves healthy, and we got to make sure we take care of ourselves, and we got to make sure that we put ourselves first before we take care of somebody else. That's the number one thing. Got to take care of ourselves first. Um, but yeah, that's that. That's the reason why I was away for a while. Uh, I want to leave. I want to start with something that I realized before I start about what we're going to talk about today, and it's actually I got asked the question of, do words hurt me? And I know that's a sensitive topic for a lot of people because words do cut deep. You know that whole saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones," but words, like, we were saying that as kids, but we know that, like, now that's false. Like, you can say, you could tell somebody something, whether you're trying to hurt them or out of frustration, or you probably told them the wrong way, and it could bother somebody. But I will say, in my past, the person who I did not like who I was, or the person that I used to lie about, words used to hurt me. It used to hurt me very deep because I wasn't living in my truth. Excuse me. I was running away from a lot of things when I was younger, and it allowed me to put on a persona and put on another image or another face or another mask. But deep down under, I was hiding who I truly was because I didn't like that person. I didn't like the way that person looked. I didn't like the way that person talked. I didn't like the way that person even think. But I grew to love myself, like, deeply. Like, I grew to love myself. And to answer to that question, I told the person, I said, there's nothing that somebody could tell me that I didn't tell myself that was worse. I used to tell myself a lot of bad things about myself. So now, me being the person that I am now, living in my truth, loving my skin, loving my brain, loving my toes, loving me, it ain't nothing somebody can tell me that's going to make me feel some type of way. And I'm truly honest with that. I don't get mad. I don't be sad. I have times where, yeah, I might have to, hear some criticism, and that criticism isn't bad. I immediately just work on it. And I think that's what caused it to be the feeling of something wrong, because you take it the wrong way. But if you actually take criticism and you think about it and you reflect on it and you say, maybe I do need to, You won't fall in no depression, no sadness, no nothing. So honestly, there's nothing no one can tell me that I didn't tell myself first. And then now I love myself. And I'm just being honest. So, excuse me, that's something that I learned, and I wanted to share with y'all the real reason why it don't bother me no more. But today's episode, we're going to get into how to stop limiting yourself from becoming what you need to become. And meaning far as, again, the person that I was, I didn't like. The person who I used to be, I thought that's who I was going to be for the rest of my life. Not talking. I didn't talk a lot. I was shy sometimes. I didn't want to think positive. I didn't want to become better. If I had a sucky day at work or if it was trying, it was stressful, I kept that same energy when I went home, when I went to sleep, when I woke up, and I just did it over and over again. The person that I was the type of person that didn't want to learn nothing. I didn't want to change nothing. I didn't want to become better. I didn't want I didn't want to achieve higher. I didn't want to reach for the sky. I thought who I was going to be was the person that I was going to end up dying to be. But something happened to me. I mean, something totally different happened to me, and it was a sit down moment. It was a moment where I had to go through one of the most trying times for myself, and it made me appreciate every single thing I had around me because that time was so depressing for me. And after overcame that situation, I told myself I'd never do that again. I never would ever feel how I felt during that time ever again. And I started to allow myself to want to research and learn how can I overcome depression? How can I have a stressful day, but when I get in my car after clocking out, I'm ready to go learn what the world has to do for the day or what the world did today or wanted to change something about me or wanted to not always feel as if I had a boring life or wanting to help others. We put a limit on ourselves of what we supposed to be and what we supposed to become. And that's not fair to ourselves. Because, and not to be religious or anything, but whoever you believe in, I know they didn't cause it to be where they wanted our minds to only go farther than high school or college. I learn something every single day, and I share it with you guys sometimes. I change every single day. My son had an issue with the simple fact that I, when he calls, I don't call him back or I don't pick up. Or the simple fact of whenever I'm on the phone, I may tell him I'm gonna call him back and I don't. And the old me that put a limit on myself would have been like, oh, it's just your problem. Or whenever I get to the phone, or you don't know, I might be busy, or I might. But no, I didn't do that. I immediately went straight to the drawing board and said, okay, let me see how I can fix this problem. And I knew the old me wouldn't have done that because I have put a limit on myself to want to try to change for me or somebody else. You have to be willing to learn that at the end of the day, God made us in an image of almost perfection. So there's a lot that we don't even know that we can accomplish or we can open up in our minds or in our hearts. But we too busy focused on thinking that, okay, we're going to be in this life till we die and it ain't going to get better or it's not going to get better. It can get better. Because once you take that limit off yourself and you continue to grow, I don't care if you're in your 50s and your 60s, you 18. Don't put a limit on who you can become. Don't put a limit on what you can become. We are powerful people. And yeah, we might not have powers or be, anything of that nature, but we can help people in ways you can only imagine. The impossible can be possible. So stop putting a limit on yourself. Stop thinking that, oh, the simple fact, well, that, since you don't know this, uh, this math question, or you don't know the problem or the answer to somebody's question at work, or the simple fact that you may not know how to get out of a situation that you're in. So you're supposed to just feel comfortable with just sitting in it. No, you do more. You research, you learn, you ask people for help, you ask people what got them through their hard times, you ask people what's advice they can give you. Because at the end of the day, all of that knowledge is keeping you growing. You will never stop growing unless you stop sitting down. Once you sit down, it's gonna be hard to get back up. And I know that for me. My time that I had to sit down to put me through the lessons that I learned, it was so hard during that to get up at the end of it. When I realized how much greener the grass was, man, listen here, I don't need no saw grass. Give me some straight grass from Home Depot. I cut it out, water it. It might die sometimes, but at the end of the day, that's not the end of the world. If it dies, you get fertilizer and then you bring it back to life. The soil, the soil isn't bad. But sometimes the flowers that we grow are, but we're not supposed to fall under the pressure because of it. You get another seed and you replace the spot and you let another plant grow inside its place. But stop allowing yourself from growing. You are doing that. Nobody else. The feelings that you feel, the emotions that you have, that comes from not wanting to discover them and wanting to see how can you make them better. So the next time you feel as if the problem is hard, like I told y'all before, go home, enjoy your family. Work and home are two different things. Do not bring them in the same environment. You go home, you enjoy your family, you watch your favorite TV show, but before you go to sleep, you tell yourself you tried today. Because when you wake up, you'll realize that the sky is the limit, and that's all you're going to aim for. That's your boy C with another episode of Opinions in the Dark. I love you guys. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to produce what I wanted to produce, but hey, listen, like I told y'all, I got to do what's best for me too. And I needed that spring break because I needed to detox. I detox on the regular because you don't know how much life really impact your family, your decision making, your character. You need to take a break when you need to take a break. Again, I love y'all. I'm out. It's your boy C with Opinions in the Dark, and I'm gonna catch you later.